All right, so now we're looking at 8.2. I can graph similar circles by showing the translation and dilation from one circle to another. So the first thing we're going to do is look at a little bit of review from KC6. So I'm going to find the scale factor. So remember, with scale factor, we have our pre-image. I don't know why it's telling me, right? It doesn't like M's, I guess. There we go. Our pre-image, right, comes first, and our image always comes second. Okay. So I'm going to pick a point in my pre-image and a point in my image. And then remember, K equals image over pre-image. So my image, I'm going to choose point B prime. So I got to do B prime, and so then I have to choose B in my pre-image. B prime is at positive 1, negative 1. B is at positive 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, 2, 3, 4. Then remember, we only divide our x's. So 1 divided by 4 is just 1/4. Okay. So that, again, just a review of finding that scale factor, finding that dilation. Okay. So one thing to keep in mind is circles are the exact same shape and their size only depends on the size of their radius. So we know all circles are the same shape because I can transform them. They can be translated, right? They can be moved around and dilated. Okay? Both of those transformations preserve similarity. Okay? So again, while they're different sizes, they're still the same shape. So let's look at an example. There is a typo in this example. I should say determine the center of X. Okay, so in example 1, circle M is given below. So this is M. S is represented by x minus 3 squared plus y plus 2 squared equals 4. Determine the center. Well, we know how to do that. We just did it in our last activity. So the center, remember we do change our signs still. So negative 3 changes to positive 3, 2 changes to negative 2. Okay. Determine the radius. Well, r squared equals 4. So when I take the square root, r equals 2. Okay. Then C, draw circle S. I'm going to go over 3, down 2. And then my radius is 2, so I have 1, 2 here. Starting back to the center, 1, 2 here. At the center, 1, 2 here. The center, 1, 2 here. That was too big. There is my circle S. All right, looking at D, determine the translation. So that's how far it moves. Okay, so when we're looking at translations, we're going to be looking at the centers of the two circles. From M to S. So I want to go from M to S. So I'm traveling from one to the other, and I only want to follow the lines. So if I start at M, I'm going to go this way, and then this way. So how far did I move? I went right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, down 4. Okay, so the translation is like you're giving someone directions. Where do I gotta go? Okay, if I start at M, how do I get to S? Sorry. Then, determine the scale factor. So this is going back to K. Okay, K equals image over pre-image. So anytime I ask you for a scale factor, that's when we're going to use the radii of our circle. Okay, so again, M is going to be our pre-image, S is our image. We're always going from the pre to the image. Okay? So that's going to be S over M. And again, we're looking at our radii. So our radius of S is 2. We found that up here. Over the radius of M, well, I just got to count, right? 1, 2, 3. There's my radius, right? 2 over 3 is my scale factor. Or, right, this circle is 2/3 the size of that circle, which makes sense because it is smaller. All right, let's look at our next example. So circle R is given below. Circle C is represented by x plus 1 squared plus y plus 2 squared. So this is circle R. Another one that's not letting me write. Determine the center of circle C. Did I say S? I don't know. Determine the center of circle C. So again, center comes from here and here. Make sure we change the signs. -1, -2. Determine the radius of C. Well, R squared equals 16. Square root R equals 4. So now I'm going to draw C. So I'm going to go -1, -2. I'm going to go over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it goes off a little bit. That's okay. There's our wonderful C. So again, determine the translation from R to C. So I'm starting at R and I'm going to C. This time I'm going to go down first. Let me write that this is C. Because why not? Okay, that order doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go down and then over. Again, I just have to follow the lines. So I went down 1, 2, 3, 4. And then right 1. If you switch it, if you say left and up, that will be incorrect. Because I'm not going from C to R. Okay, I'm going from R to C. Okay, then looking at our scale factor, remember R is our pre-image, C is our image. I don't know why I switched colors. So K equals image over pre-image. So it's going to be C over R, and I have to look at my radii. The radius of C is 4, or we found it up here, right, from there. And then my radius of R, I go 1, 2, 3. 4/3. Or C is 4/3 the size of R, which again makes sense. It's greater than 1, and the circle C is bigger. All right, our last example. Prove circle A, which is at x minus 5 squared plus y plus 1 squared equals 4, and circle D, x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 36, are similar. I can prove this by showing that it's a translation and a dilation. So the first thing I'm going to do is identify my center and radius of A and B. So the center of A, I'll put a little A, you know we're finding the center of A, comes from here. R squared of A equals 4. So the radius of A equals 2. Same thing for B. The center of B is at 2, 3. R squared of B equals 36. Square root R equals 6. All right, looking at B then. State the transformation from circle A to circle B. Remember, transformations has to do with the center. So I want to go from 5, negative 1 to 2, 3. Okay, so how far is it from 5 to 2? A lot of us are easily able to say I have to move 3. The hardest part is recognizing what direction you're going. So for these problems, I'll usually just draw a quick graph. I'm starting over at 5, negative 1, this point here, and I want to get to 2, so that's A, and I want to get over 2, up 1, 2, 3, okay? And this is B. So sometimes sketching that quick graph, it's easier to see how you have to move. From 5 to 2, I am moving left 3. Okay, I'm going over 1, 2, 3 lines. From negative 1 then to 3 in my y direction, I'm here, I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 4. Okay? So like I said, just drawing that quick graph. You don't even have to draw the whole circle. It's not asking for it. It's just a nice visual of where you have to move. Okay. Then C, determine the scale factor from A to B. Okay. Remember, scale factor has to do with your radii. Okay. Scale equals image over pre-image. Right, so pre-image, right, we always are going from the pre-image to the image. So my image is B over A. So if I'm doing radii, the radii of B is 6. The radii of A is 2. If we can reduce, we have to. 6 divided by 2 is just 3. And that is it. Go ahead and work on your activity.